My God, I hate watching the NHL on TNT so much. I hate it. I'm looking at you, Biz Nasty. NHL on TNT is whack. Every single broadcast that they do is like, you've never even seen a game before. How dumb do you think we are? Why can't you just give it to us straight? Biz Nasty, saying that the New York Rangers are just a goaltender. Buddy, did you watch the game against Pitt yesterday or did you not? Because you don't watch those games because you're salty. Because they cut you and sent you down to the AHL. Scranton Wilkes-Barre Penguins? Dude, come on. I would literally rather watch any other broadcast. If the opposite, the opposing team, I'd watch that broadcast. I hate. Somebody said toe pick. The people who are broadcasting it and the people who are analyzing the whole thing are literally just putting on a show and acting like everybody is completely out of the loop and doesn't understand what's going on. Tonight, the New York Rangers beat the Detroit RedWings 5-4 in overtime. They aren't going to go into this game against the Red Wings and play their asses off. There are 14 games left in this season. 14 games left. They are on the second game of a back-to-back. The Rangers right now, they're going to the playoffs. You are really going to sit here and tell me that the New York Rangers are going to go in and go hard every single game from now until then? No, they're not. They're going to go in to games where they are going to gain something. They're going to gain some value from playing this other team, be it understanding how that team plays, be it getting to work on certain different areas that might need some tweaking when they're in a situation with that much competition. They're not going to go in to the Detroit Red Wings, who just lost 11-2 to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and go balls to the wall hard. That's just not how it is. And then people are going to sit on TV and be like, well, they're shut up. I don't understand why everybody just wants all the fans to think that these players are going to go hard every day for the honor of the game. No, man. They're going to play as professional athletes, and a professional athlete is playing to get to the playoffs and playing to do well in the playoffs. If you think anything other than that, you're an idiot. When the time comes and you get this close to the postseason, your main focus is that. It's not the 14 games left in your regular season. What you want to do in those 14 games, if you're smart, is you want to see what you can do to literally suck every bit of preparation where you can. You're not going to risk injury. You're not going to try and run the players into the ground, especially after a back-to-back against a team like Pitt. People are going to come at me and say, well, Pitt went hard on Detroit. Okay, there's an exception. Pitt had their asses handed to them by the New York Rangers. They got lit up by a team that is their competition. Don't you think that they went into the Detroit game looking to prove something? Remember that, oh, we are so good, and get a little confidence boost before they came and lost to the Rangers again? Yeah, that will happen. But the Rangers are beating the teams that they need to beat. And in doing so, they're getting valuable experience and valuable time against competition that is going to prep them to play their best in the playoffs. You're not going to go to a public skate and play like Alex Ovechkin if that afternoon you and your college team are going to the Frozen Four. They're just so surface level, man. Come on, tell it like it really is. Sorry, Detroit, your team sucks this year. You're not going to make it through. People who get so jazzed up when they beat a really, really good team towards the end of the season, when that really, really good team is literally going through the motions where they don't have anything to gain, then maybe watch more hockey. At the end of the day, today did at least offer an opportunity to have some of the guys that are coming back from injury, i.e. Greg McKegg, he was in there. Gerard Gallant switched the lines up a bit. That type of stuff is important. You want to make sure that you have your depth players getting the ice time that they need, and you want to make sure that the players at least have some time and experience playing with one another on lines that they may end up having to play on if something happens in the playoffs. You never know what's going to happen, so you want to prepare for that. As far as the Rangers being just a goalie, go watch the game from last night, because last night, the New York Rangers played a full 200-foot game. Everybody was on the back check. The defense was being put up by every single player. The pressure was the same, be it in the Ranger zone or in the Penn zone. And even further, the defensive players were putting up just as much work on the forecheck. Brendan Schneider's getting a goal. And we're seeing him do it a bit today, too. He had an assist in the game. That's the type of stuff that they wanted to gain from this game. Sorry for shitting all over Biz Nasty. I do like him on Spit and Chicklets, but god damn, it's so awkward watching them on TNT. Like, they try and mix in some little hockey slang and try and make it seem like they don't even like each other. That's what I'm picking up. Watching it, I'm like, you guys hate each other. Now that you know how I really feel. New York Rangers did win in OT tonight, 5-4 over the Detroit Red Wings, who are coming in off of a 3-game losing streak. And of course, their last loss was Sunday against the Pens, 11-2. And the New York Rangers extend their 3-game winning streak to 4. Frank Vetrano gets a point on the night, and that extends his point streak to 4 games. Artemi Panarin gets 1 goal and 2 assists on the night, which is great, but I really wish Artemi Panarin would be a little bit more selfish in his play across the rest of the season. He is always looking to set somebody up, and even if you're just taking that split second to think, don't do it, just shoot the puck, please, God. If you want to be a team player like that and you want to set people up, you can come and play at open hockey with me and you can set me up all night. I'm going to disappoint, but that's fine. But when it comes down to that, and you have an open shot, just take the damn shot, please. Chris Kreider got his 24th power play goal, tying him with Jaromir Jagr for first place in the Rangers franchise for most power play goals in one season. And last but not least, Ryan Reeves, 3.5 minutes into the game, Revo. He's only ever scored when the games are on TNT, so I have yet to hear Sam Rosen lose his mind, get something wrong, say, excuse me. Sam Rosen makes everything so much more fun. That is all I have for you guys today. This game, like I said, it was an opportunity to play around with the lines and get some ice time for the new guys, get the top players a little bit of rest, and to mix in some of those depth players and get a little bit of a feel for how things could potentially go if they are needed. So the Rangers are still in second place in the Met. While there are 14 games left in the season, I really don't expect much to change in terms of how they go into each game mentally. I expect to see them go up against teams like Carolina, Washington, Pittsburgh, they're playing again, playing a full 200-foot game, playing complete hockey for those games to get all that they can out of them. But I really don't think that they're going to be going into any of those lesser games like the Philly game. I don't expect them to be going 100% through the drywall, busting down the door to win that game. However, I do think that they will try pretty hard against the New York Islanders, which is our next game. That is Friday at 7 o'clock. Back at MSG, the Rangers take on the Islanders. The last game was frustrating, to say the least. In this situation, yes, the Islanders have struggled a ton, but I do think that the Rangers are going to go in with a little bit more of a hop in their step, just considering the fact that it is a rivalry, and I'm sure they are just as salty as I am about how the last game unfolded. I'll have a video up after that game. If you guys are new here, thank you so much for coming through. If you are new here, make sure you hit subscribe. Let me know if you agree with my view on how Gallant and the Rangers are handling these next few games. You can also check me out on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I have content coming out nonstop all the time, always. I will see you guys all in the next one after that New York Rangers game against the goddamn New York Islanders. Until then, I'm going to go and hope that Biz Nasty doesn't see this. I don't want to get shadow banned by the hockey community for being a dick to a dude who got punched in the face for a living.